Some of the most brilliant software engineers that I know would make terrible founders. And it's not because they aren't smart enough, but because the very skills that earn them a top tier salary are the same ones that will sabotage their business from day one. So in this video, I am going to reveal the #1 blind spot that causes technically exceptional software engineers to fail. And I'm going to show you how you can rewire your brain to avoid that failure. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Bago, and I went from a junior developer making low six figures a year to an engineering manager in 3 years making $250,000. From then, I quit to found my own B2B consulting firm, AB Analytics, that does over 7 figures annually. And today, I run Code to CEO, where I help software engineers just like you transition from employee to highly paid, high leverage business owners. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. As engineers, we're taught to worship the technical founder archetype, the brilliant coder who builds a revolutionary product in their garage and changes the entire world. But we fundamentally misunderstand what really makes them successful. You see, the myth is that a technically superior product wins. We believe as software engineers that if we build the most elegant, scalable, and feature-rich solution, customers will beat a path to our door. And this allows us to be comfortable because it allows us to stay in a world that we as software engineers control, the world of code, logic, and architecture. And we are confident in our ability to actually build a solution. But the harsh truth that the market teaches us every single day is that it does not reward the best technology. It rewards the best solution to a painful problem. Even a clunky MVP that solves an expensive, urgent pain point will beat a masterpiece of engineering that solves a minor inconvenience every single time. And a prime example of this is Dropbox. It had one of the clunkiest MVPs and it still got 75,000 signups on day one, compared to Juicero, a VC-backed startup that put Wi-Fi capabilities into a juice maker that the company ended up shutting down a year later. So great software engineers fail when they believe their job is to build a great product. But remember, a founder's job is to find a great problem. Your technical skills are simply the tools you will use to solve that problem. And look, I know that finding a great problem is the single hardest part for you as a software engineer. That's why I've put together a completely free step-by-step 55-page guide that walks you through my exact system for finding, validating, and scaling your first high-value business idea. It's designed to give you that clear, validated starting point that you've been looking for. The link is at the top of the description below. It's my gift to you. But having the guide is one thing. You still need to understand the fundamental shift in mindset between being a founder and a builder. You see, this brings us to the founder's most important job: mastering the search phase before the build phase. The build phase is structured. It has clear inputs and clear outputs. You write the code, the test passes, the feature ships, and it's a dopamine hit. It feels like progress. The search phase is the complete opposite. It's pure uncertainty. It's talking to 20 potential customers and hearing 20 different things. It's trying to find a needle in a haystack. And it has no clear metrics, no pull requests, and no deployments. So for a logical, systems-oriented software engineering brain, this phase is incredibly uncomfortable. And this is the single biggest challenge that paralyzes potential founders at the starting line: identifying a specific, validated problem that is worth solving. So this is the moment of failure that you have to watch out for. Faced with the messy, uncomfortable ambiguity of the search, I've seen many great software engineers retreat to the comfort and safety of the building phase. So they skip the entire painful validation process and jump straight to code, creating a perfect, elegant solution to a problem that nobody even has. So they fail because they start acting like an employee in their own company. So if your brain is optimized for the build, how exactly do you force yourself to master the search? Well, for this, you need to adopt 3 counterintuitive habits that feel wrong but are critical for your success. First and foremost, you need to stop coding and start talking. Your first goal is to not write a single line of code. It's to conduct at least 30 interviews with a very specific type of customer. Your goal is not to pitch your idea, but to understand their pain point. You need to ask questions like, what's the most frustrating part of your workflow? Or if you had a magic wand to fix one thing, what would it be? So you must become a professional problem finder before you try to build anything. Speaking of building, you need to sell before you build. The only true validation is cold hard cash. Once you think you've found a painful problem, your next step is not to open VS Code and start typing. It's to create a simple landing page, a simple offer, PDF, whatever the case, that describes the outcome of your solution and ask someone to pay for it. If that doesn't work, simply offer your expertise as a consultant, paid by the hour. Do not underestimate the power of getting your first pre-order. It is 100 times more valuable than writing your first 10,000 lines of code. So you need to fall in love with the problem. And last of all, you need to fall in love with the problem and not your solution. As a software engineer, you most likely love elegant architecture and clever code. But as a founder, you must be obsessed with your customer's frustration. This aligns with your core motivation to actually solve complex problems. So if you're obsessed with the problem, you'll be willing to throw away even your perfect solution for a simpler one that actually works for the customer. And by forcing yourself through these 3 specific steps, you completely de-risk your entire venture. You stop building in a vacuum and you start co-creating with the same market that will be buying from you. So you essentially rewire your brain to think like a founder and not the technician that you used to be before. So remember, while your technical skills are an incredible advantage, it's only after you've done the real work of finding a problem that really matters. So don't let the skills that made you a great engineer be the exact reason you fail as a founder. So master the search, then and only then do you start the build. And now that you know that the biggest pitfalls for founders is finding a validated problem to solve, you're probably wondering where these expensive, high-value problems are actually hiding in plain sight. So you need to check out this video over here where I reveal the $1 million business ideas that are just waiting to be discovered as a software engineer. It's the fastest way to find your starting point. So click the video on the screen now and I will see you there. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good one.